Welcome to King Says So, a channel that advocates for one Africa, one land, one Africa, one language, one Africa, one currency, one Africa, one army. I wish to witness Africans all around the world united as one in our lifetime. Enjoy.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy King 053, Mr. Easy Imali Eneng. Guys, did the EFF just fire 210 of its public servants at the same time? 210 of its public servants at the same time. Let's get into that. Listen to what Julius Malema said is the reason why is it that they fired 210 of its leadership, people that are working as public servants in government at the same time. What could be the reason? Let's listen.
My brother, the future in the EFF is not a position. Why, when you're being removed from a position, you say, I just said in the statement, they remain members of the EFF and continue to contribute. That's your future. That's my future. The future is not position. So we remove people from positions. You say, do they have future? What are you saying? We did not expel them. They are members of the EFF. In the EFF, we are not going to allow opportunism of the highest order. So please, you can be guaranteed, if they want to remain in the EFF, they are more. That's why we didn't take them to DC. The DC may well decide not to find them guilty. The DC might find them guilty and expel them or suspend them. And that will destroy their future in the EFF. In the protection of their future, we said, let's take a political decision, which is allowed by the constitution of the EFF, to recall. Because those positions they hold are the EFF positions. You are mandated by the EFF. At any time, the EFF can recall you, including me. So I don't understand what is this future. If the future is positions, then I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested. Well, and removing them from positions and having them remain in the organization is part of the rehabilitation. It's part of saying to them, you still need to learn more and have an appreciation. Maybe we prematurely promoted you into position of responsibility and you are not ready. Let's prepare you and then we'll consider you going forward. How can a man or a woman who couldn't get one bus disrupt my election campaign? One. How can that person disrupt the election campaign? He has demonstrated he's got no capacity to do anything. We are removing SG 210 public representatives. And we do so unashamedly. Out of 1,200. 1,200 public representatives, we are removing 210. We remain with 990 good members of the EFF, the servant of the people, who are ready to respond to the call at any time. Don't tell me about lazy deadwoods. I have no time for deadwoods. I have no time for staff riders who have no capacity. Whether they've been with us for too long, it means nothing if you can't perform the simplest task. You know, one of you is very sympathetic that maybe the MPs, we know them, we may not know the others. There is an MP who until this morning was still lying that she paid for a bus. The SG went and said, okay, let me sit down and understand this. Went through with her, only to find that this MP submitted a quotation and thought that we're fools. Will confuse the quotation for an invoice. And the quotation is dated 25 July.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is a very, very, very brave move for the EFF to fire 210 of its public servants at the same time. These are people that are working as councillors, from councillor up to the national, from a local, municipality, regional, provincial, up to the national stable, where if you could not bring the people that have voted for you, if you could not bring the region of the people that voted for you, if you could not pay for transportation out of your own pocket, if you could not manage to organize transportation for people to fill up the FNB, then we're going to fire you. They warned us at the FNB. They told us, listen, there's other leadership that have failed to perform a basic task. That basic task meaning organizing transport for people. Me and you looked at the EFF 10-year celebration and we thought it was beautiful. It was in FNB. Everything looked so nice. You know, it was full to capacity. But the EFF wanted to go a level higher. You know, they wanted to fill the whole block, not just the FNB stadium. And we've been crying all along to say, government, there is no consequence management in government position. You must ask us. I'm a government employee myself, so I know. There's people that do wrong and nothing actually happens to them. In the private sector, there's no time for nonsense. You can't be a CFO that does irregular expenditure, that does fruitless expenditure. You'll be fired. In government, you find that in many times that there is expenditure that can be explained and that was signed off, and the CFO signed off, the HOD signed off, the chief, the senior managers signed off, but nobody there's no consequence management for that. The Auditor General has been given a little teeth to fight against government, especially at the municipality level, to say, listen, punish the municipalities that are not doing their job. Now, it is a breath of fresh air to see a political party making an example with a small thing like this. Some of you might say, listen, King, that means the EFF is going to lose a lot of people. 210 people. That means it's 210 families. That means it's 210 friends. You can multiply and get close to 10,000 people that the EFF might lose. Maybe even more. Just out of that 210 people. But then you've got 10 more thousand people that will respect that and said, listen, this is the type of political party I want. A political party that takes action against wrongdoing. So you can see clearly for the EFF, they're not going to tolerate an unfit mayor. They are not going to tolerate an unfit councillor. They are not going to tolerate. Julius Malema calls them a deadbeat. It's people that can't perform the basic tasks. There is another good quote where a CEO speaks to, I believe, a CFO and says, what if we train our employees and they leave our company after they get the skill? And the CFO answer says, what if we don't train them and they stay? That was a very big statement that I use in my businesses to say, I'm not going to sit around with the person that's working with me and I don't give them a skill because I'm afraid that after I give them the skill, they're going to leave. What if you don't give them the skill and they stay? You are basically working with a deadbeat. So I'm very, 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 very impressed with what the EFF has done. You go in the comment section, tell me, do you think it was a good strategy? I mean, releasing them at the same time, firing them case by case without even taking them to the discipline hearing? Nothing. Say, listen, you are fired. But we are not going to take your membership. Now, not taking the membership, it is a strategy to say, listen, you still have a chance. Should you want, you can still grow in the EFF. But again, it is a Very dangerous strategy, because those who stay might be rotten apples, or rotten potatoes. They might spoil the whole bunch, the whole bag. So again, it's pros and cons. I hope the EFF knows what they are doing. I just wanted to take that one out of the way to say, listen, I'm very impressed with how the EFF is taking actions on its members and recalling them just like that. Very impressed. This is what we want from the ANC. We want to see people getting punished for doing wrong, and not this step aside nonsense. This step aside nonsense is it's destroying and dividing the ANC, of which the ANC does not need. Just recall, everyone must just have high standards. Listen, if you do not reach this target that we have set for you, it's fine. Come back. Let's put in another person that can do the job. It's nothing personal. You are still a member. You are still family. We're not going to chase you out of the party, expel you out of the party, suspend you out of the party. No, we're just taking you out of this position because it's not about positions. It's about serving the people. And if you can't serve the people, then what is it that you are doing in that position? You're just, eating money, mahala. So I'm very, very, very impressed, guys. Until the next time, please, if you're new on the channel, consider to subscribe. Leave your thoughts on the comment section. Click the like button, hit the bell icon so that you can be notified every time we upload some content. And don't forget to pray. Just know your boy King053, Mr. Easy Imale salutes you.
Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy the content, leave your thoughts on the comment section and hit the like and subscribe button, and we will meet on the next one.